Hey guys, Jordan Nelson here, host of Real Estate Pros on ListerPros TV, and today we're in our East Mesa studio, and we have via Zoom JJ Levinsky of Bleuwave. Thank you so much, JJ, for taking time out of your busy day and joining me on Real Estate Pros.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. So for those that may be watching that don't know who you are, give a quick intro on yourself.
Again, JJ Levinsky, Bleuwave General Contracting. You might have seen our signs around town, and we are a commercial general contracting firm. However, our sister company is Starwood Custom Homes, and you might have seen the listeners that are part of this. They might know them as a custom builder. So we have a kind of bifurcated, if you will, into they do the new residential and we do all the commercial related things. One caveat is, and maybe that's kind of the synergy of why we're talking to you, is that we took the remodeling, if you will, in under Bleuwave's umbrella versus the residential side. I know that sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but it was very strategic in the way we did it, and I can get into an explanation of why and how. But a lot of times that's where we cross-contaminate back into the residential world, even though we're a commercial general contractor. So that's kind of who we are. We're based in Chandler, and the other connection is we use you guys to do a lot of our aerial stuff.
Right. Yeah, and I've always been super impressed with, I think since we started shooting for Starwood Custom Homes, just the amazing projects that you guys work on, the attention to detail, all the little intricacies in the properties. It's always fun going in there and looking at, dude, what did Starwood do this time? But knowing that you guys are kind of an extension of Bleuwave, do you take kind of that similar mentality on the commercial side? Or like, what kind of projects are you guys involved in right now on the Bleuwave side of the business?
Yeah, great question. So we did a name change a couple of years ago. Bleuwave was originally School Builder, and so when we started the commercial division, it was specifically for the charter and private school industry, and it was kind of a trifecta, as we used to call it, where it had a front end component, whether that was capital entitlement, real estate, all the things that the listeners here would know. And then we started the vertical component as well. There was a back end piece, which I won't go into, more business related, complicated on some bond financing and things of that nature.
Sure.
But however, that's how we kind of cut our teeth, and then realized that as we were going into other verticals and taking care of other customers through a value proposition type platform, if you will, that the name School Builder was a little myopic. And so we switched to Bleuwave, which was, I say it all the time, it's based on the book Blue Ocean Strategy, and what the elevator speech on that is, hey, if our customers can get three things within the price of two, that's our value prop. So it's a spin-off of Bleuwave is based on Blue Ocean Strategy. The spelling, the BLEU, everyone always asks us, hey, why did you guys spell blue wrong?
Right.
Because all the domains and trademarks and everything were taken under the conventional spelling. And it's funny because it's been a great elevator pitch or speech or whatever you want to call it, because now everyone goes, hey, what's with the spelling? Well, if someone's already asking you about your company, you've already hit kind of a home run of being able to tell your story. You don't have to sell anything. They ask you. So that's kind of how we got started. But back to your original question of, what markets are we in? That school space is still a big part of what we're doing right now. We're involved in 6 different school projects in different phases right now. Mixed use developments, which you guys are helping us with on a rather large one in Gilbert, that the town is very excited about. It's basically a 13 plus acre mixed use development on the corner of Williamsfield and Recker that has multiple buildings, kind of a tavern on the green atmosphere. So naturally all the constituents and residents in that growing area, they're excited because there's going to be many restaurants once we get out of this virus thing. There's going to be many restaurants and kind of an amphitheater type atmosphere there, which, as we all know, people are just clamoring for that. So we're very excited to be involved with those people. And then some other things too, but I think that gives a pretty good synopsis of what you asked.
Sure. And that's exciting. A lot of exciting projects, and I can't wait to see what you guys do with that Williamsfield and Riker when the finished product. And those little pieces, in towns that are developing, they play a big role. Like there was a mixed use one that, because I live in an area that's developing as well, and it really does change the dynamic of kind of the community and stuff. So you guys play a key role in that. I know you mentioned the virus and how, and on the commercial side of things, how are you seeing, have you guys had to change your business and adapt, or how has it impacted your guys' business?
I'll give you the short term and the long term. The short term has been very dynamic, and if I said it hasn't been hard, I'd be a liar. We're very fortunate that we're nimble and small and organized and have been operating basically virtually for years. So that was kind of my long-term answer. It doesn't change our cadence at all. Where it changes the MO is with our trade partners, our supply chain, and things like that. As you know, everyone reacted everyone just reacted in different mannerisms yesterday once the governor just announced the essential, non-essential type situation. As of right now, we qualify that we're still essential, so our jobs are proceeding as normal. However, with just very strict, very open dialogue, with a lot of candor back and forth with the people to keep those job sites safe. So, we've had some trade partners that have scaled back just to keep their people safe, and we're supporting that naturally. We don't want to be, let's face it, a dollar's not worth a life right now.
Right.
But the show must go on as well. So we feel very proud that our industry is going to be a catalyst to keep the economy going and keep this thing moving once we get out of this. But make no bones about it. All my peers, we talk constantly, and we're not treating this lightly. We know that we're pivotal to the economy, but we also know that we're pivotal to bringing people home safely to their families, and we're going to do our part for that.
Sure. So talk to us a little bit about the future of Bleuwave. Where are you guys headed? Obviously, you're the president of the company, so talk to us a little bit about what you guys are looking forward to, and what are the things you guys are going to be doing in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, great question. Thanks for asking. Sure. So one of we're, by the industry standards, we're kind of small in the commercial space, and we like it that way. In other words, we can be nimble, and we can take some cues from what we had done when we started as School Builder, when I was talking about that trifecta, where you can have a front end component, a middle component, which is typically your general contracting arm or division, and then something on the backside. And so if I can talk about that, that's where I think the future of at least Bleuwave is going as we transcend our own industry. I've done many podcasts and been guests on a lot of talks on this topic. And it's not to disparage the competition or my industry, but let's be honest, our industry has been very slow to change. And if you're an advocate and kind of this proponent of change, that's what your customers are asking for. So just do it. And there was that, I always forget it's all over social media. There was that one guy that said, just do it. Art, how do you just do it? And I laugh because that's what we do. That's the epitaph of Bleuwave. And so when we don't look at a vertical per se and then define the industry based on that, we look at the ownership that come to us as a GC and say, hey, are you guys willing to think outside the box? And that's very cliche-ish, I know, but we take it to heart. And having that ability to understand what capital, real estate entitlement work is up front, transcend that into something that has what we call a facilities-based solution. So in other words, is there a hard asset there, meaning a building, a property, something that can effectuate what they need to do? Usually it's a revenue stream of some kind. And then on the backside is that's where we really like to play and where we think we can be different moving forward. And what I mean by that is, again, how do you become a lifelong partner of them instead of just that asset builder? And to me, that's where Bleuwave's future lies, because we surround ourselves with very quality people, both in-house and out-of-house as far as our partners. And to see that transform has probably been the most rewarding part for me as the president, to see where your ecosystem is rewarded almost exponentially by putting them into touch with those people. Now, from a monetized perspective, are we getting a ton on that? Not necessarily, but I'll take a little bit of I'll take a little bit of something much larger than nothing of nothing, if that puts it into context.
Yeah. And also I was going to ask you, what does a good customer look like for you guys? Are you guys, obviously you guys were branded previously as school builders. So is it schools or cities, or what are you,
Great question.
Who are your customers? Yeah.
Yeah. So in the school space, for those that don't understand, being in the charter private space is different because in essence, their business is coming to you. So they're not technically backed by the state or the government. Yes, there's the whole, without getting into details of how the funding works, but you understand. I mean, they're at risk, so they come to us for solutions. And so what I like about that, or where we again can fill that gap and add that value prop, is, do they have a problem? Maybe, but usually they're looking for a solution. And that's what it is. It's trying to find that solution instead of just that bricks and mortar solution. Again, more of a holistic type thing. And so now, to answer your question in a different context, whether it's let's call it a high-end residential remodel, let's call it a mixed-use development, let's call it even a commercial TI, where we typically see that our phone ringing is when they've exploited other, what I call conventional options, and they need a new set of eyes or a new perspective. I'm not saying that that's the only landscape we lie in, but that's typically where we can do the most good and add the most value to those people. And typically it's not even more money. It's just finding a different solution, thinking larger, thinking grander. And because of our structure and because we don't get trapped in the industry paradigms, we're able to move much quicker, much faster, be more nimble, provide more of those outsourced solutions, and figure out how to, again, bring that to market for our eventual customers without getting into kind of what I call it's not ego, it's more, hey, how do I get a penny out of this, instead of, like I alluded to before, the context of how do you monetize your overall solution. So again, summary, both conventional and unconventional clients, but just those that are exhausted with what I would call the typical, if you go to market looking for a solution and here's A, B, and C, I say we play in the X, Y, Z. How's that?
Yeah, I actually like that mentality of providing solutions, right? And trying to solve problems for individuals, right? Because I'm more familiar with your guys's on the residential, because I've been in a lot of your guys's homes that you build, and it's like I go into all kinds of homes, new homes, all kinds, and there's something special about the homes that you guys build, and you guys do it a little bit different. You offer what seems to me is a different solution than what's out there mainstream, where we're just trying to make a quick dot, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I don't think enough is said about this either, Jordan, and that is our competition is some of our closest friends. And so in the even the larger context of this conversation is, saying no isn't always no. Saying no is saying yes to someone else. And having the intestinal fortitude to look at someone, as you were asking about what is the DNA of a good customer, if you can't offer a solution to them, don't lie, don't fake it, because that's going to be a lose for both parties or entities. Pay it forward, know who's in your ecosystem. And like I said, some of our quote unquote competitors are some of our closest allies and friends, and we're always giving work back and forth. And it's, that's the new normal. And if you don't think, if you hold everything too close to the chest, you're going to have nothing. That's the reality of today's market.
Sure. Yep. And if somebody watching this is interested in reaching out to you guys or find out a little bit more about projects, or maybe they have questions about a project that they're going to be working on in the future, how do people get in touch with you guys?
Easiest thing is going to any social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, those kind of things, and look under Bleuwave and bleuwave.com. Just remember, if you can read the hat backwards or forwards, it's BLEUWAVE.com. And then, of course, any of us will return your call, phone, message, or text, or whatever media you are contacting us through. And hopefully we can help in any capacity.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day and spending some time with me this morning, JJ.
Yeah, and keep up the good work for us as well. It's nice
Yeah.
to have that. Everyone loves the graphic representation of what we're building, and
Yeah,
it's
and
done.
we love what we do. We love working on your guys' projects. So we definitely will. And so thanks again, JJ, and we will see you guys on the next episode.